We're gonna try out this cheap Harbor Freight Pittsburgh Automotive portable tire changer and see if we can change a tire with it, or if we're just gonna break our back and get frustrated and throw the thing across the garage. I bought this thing a long time ago, which is why it's so shelf worn, but I'm finally getting around to playing with it. Ideal for a shop, farm, job site. Well, we are in a shop, so that's a good start. Handles all tires from 8-inch to light truck, 7.5-inch by 16, including flotation tires up to size 12.5 L16. All steel construction, pre-drilled base for secure installation, specially designed to protect inner tubes. Ooh, that's a good feature right there. Made in Vietnam. That's interesting. But what do you expect? Somewhere around 50 simoleons, I think I paid for this. If you bought an entire tire machine for $50, probably is on the lower end, so don't expect much. But if you're the adventurous type and you've got time to dilly-dally, something like this might be right up your alley. I didn't mean to rhyme that time. Safety instructions. That can go in the circular file. Packaging looks okay. I don't know how much this would do, but I don't think it really matters because there's a chip in the paint here. That doesn't matter because you're gonna beat the living tar out of this thing anyways. Before we get any further into this, I don't want you getting any ideas about, is Harbor Freight sponsoring this? No, they're not. They don't know who I am. They don't know I'm doing this. And I'm sure they'll never see it. I mean, who would sponsor this show anyways? I don't see anything wrong with the weld quality. Let's take a better look at these welds. Yeah, that looks fine. You've seen my welds before. In my defense, I just went right through the paint. I think I'm actually going to refer to the owner's manual and safety instructions, wherever those landed. Whoa, how could there be this much stuff in here? It's actually kind of complicated. It's quite a bit to read. Look at all this stuff they got in here. Now don't worry, I'm not going to spend 5 minutes showing you this book. It is interesting though, I was thinking about bolting it to a pallet just for tonight, or just for right now. It's late at night, I'm filming this. And that's what they did in here. And the wind is blowing like crazy up there. You could actually spend some time reading this and soaking it in. I think we're just gonna figure it out. I want to be fair and just point out real quick that this big paint chip here has nothing to do with the quality of the paint or the product or the manufacturing. That's from me pushing the box around on the garage floor many times over a period of months. So that's all my fault. And this note right here, I bet you this is a mistake a lot of people make. So this is actually not a bad idea to skim through stuff like this. Make sure to align the center post with the post base so that the center post bracket faces the longer end of the post brace. I bet you 20 bucks there's some people that buy these, put them together, and the first time they try to use them, they end up taking them right back apart again and they dive into that book. But that's not going to be us. I probably shouldn't have said that. In fact, here's a little IQ test. Make sure to align the center post with the post brace so that the center post bracket faces the longer end of the post base. Okay, so center post. If I don't figure this out quick, I'm not deleting it. It's going to be in the video. Center post bracket. Make sure to align the center post, this is the center post, with the post base. That's this. so that the center post bracket, I'm assuming that's this, or you know, the bracket that's on the center post, I'm assuming that's the center post bracket. Makes sense. Faces the longer end of the post base. Okay, well, clearly, there's no way we can mount that on that end. Or wait a minute. I really can't wait to read your comments on this video. Or as the comment section, I call it the suggestion box. I've been trying to make that catch on, but so far the viewers aren't going for it. Ah, see, this is it. I bet you a lot of people bolt that down like that, and then they go to break a bead with the bead breaker that's on here, and it doesn't work for them because it's got to go this way. There we go. I think it's time for these. Okay, these are identical. So I'm going to assume they go here. I'm not really looking at that book anymore. Okay, now we'll bolt it together. Place your bets now on whether this stuff is metric or standard. I think you know the answer. Well, that was stupid. Oh. If you unsubscribe from Freeman's Garage Extra right now, I couldn't blame you if you do. The only reason why I own any metric tools at all is because I own some Japanese motorcycle engines. It is kind of funny to think about how all of my metric wrenches and sockets that I've had for many years, they all look pretty much brand new because they don't get used very often. Those Japanese, they know how to build a motorcycle engine, that's for sure. Is it wobbly? Yes, it is. Of course it is. When you buy this sort of thing, you should know that you're buying something that's not going to be flat and level. But it doesn't really need to be, because you can either anchor this down to your concrete floor, or you can bolt it to a pallet like we're gonna try just for right now. It's up to you how you wanna fasten it down. It's part of the beauty of it, really. I knew I was saving this pallet for something. I don't know if it's going to survive what we're about to put it through, though. I mean, she looks fairly sturdy on the top side. A little rotted, a little cracked, a little beat up on the underside. Been repaired many a time. You can tell it's lived a classic pallet life. Anyways, enough about pallets and their stories. Let's get back to this, and I haven't even shown you what tire we're going to dismount and mount. Or attempt to. I'll show you in a second here. It's in the trunk of this car. If you're a regular Freeman's Garage viewer, as well as Freeman's Garage Extra, you already know what's in there. Well, son of a gun! That's pretty cool. They must have designed this to have the holes in the right place for your average standard pallet, because it lines right up. So you could go right to your garage floor, a piece of plywood, or to a pallet. That's mighty nice of them. They could have just drilled their holes random And if you wanted to bolt it to a pallet and it doesn't line up, you're on your own, you just gotta figure it out. So that saves some time. We're gonna rob all this hardware off of the engine stand for right now. Oh, come on, don't be difficult. All right, fellers, friends, I need 2 paws to do this. Oh, wow. Weren't we talking about IQs earlier? Or wait, maybe it won't fit. I don't know, I need 2 paws. I'm hoping that when we snug up the hardware here, that this edge right here stays on top of the wood for maximum support. Probably not even gonna matter. Well, that did work out. She's tightened down nice and snug, and she's sitting up here on the wood. I think I found out the secret. You just keep tightening it down until all the wood starts splitting. All right, let's get this thing up on its feet. And then we'll get the rest of those doodads on. And we'll get our victim out of that trunk. Throw it on here, fire this thing up, and see what it does. Either it's gonna work fantastic, or this pallet's just gonna bust into a million pieces. But that's what we're gonna find out. Forgot I got a ratchet strap on this trunk lid. I'm sorry. Excuse me for just a second. I'm sorry for my insolence. I have no clue how old these are and how crusty the beads are. Just assume they're fairly old and they've been on here for a long time. I think this one will do. We'll try this one. So first we'll test out the bead breaking ability, and then we'll see how it works actually getting the tire off the rim, the actual dismount, and then we'll mount. So we'll do a bead break, a dismount, and a mount. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to get the core out of the ding-dang valve stem. It's giving me trouble though. I need to get that out to make sure that there's no air trapped in here when we try to break the bead, or else it's just never gonna work. Maybe this one will cooperate better. Oh, there's not even one in there. Oh yeah, I can feel the air coming out. Yep, I can see there's nothing in there. We'll just break the bead on this one. It's your lucky day, Sport Tracks. We'll break your brother's bead. Alrighty then. Let's see how this goes. This might be a good little machine. It feels promising. Let's get this big bar on there and see if we can pop her off. I just broke the bead on this tire for you, and I wasn't recording. And it was a little too easy. I don't think she was sealed on there very well. Well, let's just throw this one on there with the complete valve stem and just see what happens. Oh, they must have had slime in that tire. There's green goo on my garage floor now. Okay, are we recording this time? Yes, we are. That's one of the neat things about Freeman's Garage Extra. You get a little behind the scenes action like that. Oh yeah. Very nice. case you haven't figured it out yet, this is not a review video, and this is not a how-to video. This is just us hanging out. And if you happen to be in the market for one of these, or you've been thinking about one, you can see how it works out for me. And maybe that could help you make a decision. Just people helping each other, that's it. And hanging out and having fun. And this is about to come off the rim. Now that right there is worth it. Worth buying the thing. You know how terrible it is trying to do something like that with screwdrivers or even tire spoons if you don't have the proper ones? If you're thirsty, I got some water for you. Alright, let's see if we can throw this Sport Tracks. It's like a pull behind pop-up camper tire or something. And it's called Sport Tracks. Let's see how long it takes us to throw one back on. I'm trying to do this without getting this water all over me. Getting it back on was a little bit more difficult than getting it off, but that's the way it usually is. Took about maybe 5 minutes there to get it back on. If you dug this video, then you're going to love the one that just popped up on your screen, because we use this to try to remove the tires off the wheels on that car that have been stuck on there for 50 some years.